guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome to my channel if you are new here. Today we are talking about my psoriasis journey, and I can't believe it's actually taken me this long to sit down and talk about this, and I have been putting it off for a while, and this is why. Because I am... Okay, sorry. Firstly, I'm sorry if the light keeps changing. It's late afternoon and it's like literally the only time I have to sit down and film this, so I'm sorry in advance. But back to it. If you know me, you know that I'm a perfectionist, and yeah, I like to do everything at 100%, and if it's not, then I feel like, it's not good enough. I have been wanting to film this video for a long time because I know I can really help so many of you, but I just keep thinking like, oh no, I still need to like learn more and like have more information, and this needs to happen, and I've just kind of come to the like conclusion that I'm never going to know everything, nothing's ever going to be perfect. I just need to put it out there, and you know, I can keep you guys updated. So pretty much take from this what you do, and obviously like stay tuned for more videos in the future and like more stuff on my other socials as well in regards to my autoimmune journey. But otherwise, let's just get straight into it. I'm going to start off with a little bit of a backstory so you guys kind of understand and become familiar with my personal situation, to see if you can sort of relate to it or not. And I first saw it appear a few years ago. It just randomly like popped up, a couple of spots on my arms, on my torso, on my legs, and I remember being like, what the hell is this? And I put it down to a stress rash because I was extremely stressed at the time, and I was just like, you know, I just had no idea what it was. No one knew what it was. It was just like this big mystery. But I guess it wasn't that bad for me to be too worried about it. Like, it was a few dots here and there, and they ended up disappearing in like a couple of months. So I just didn't think too much of it. I was like, all right, it's a stress rash. And then about a year later, I went through a really stressful, crazy time in my life. Like, I don't think I've ever been this stressed in my life. And the dots started appearing again, and I was like, oh, here we go, another stress rash. And I thought as soon as like this situation would ease, it would go away, and then it eased, and my skin just kept getting worse and worse progressively. And this was the start of last year, so the start of 2019. And yeah, obviously like my skin started getting worse and worse, and it was at its peak in, I'd say like September, October last year, where I was absolutely covered in spots. Like, my whole body was covered. I had like just this little tiny section like on my torso that wasn't. And I think I did a pretty good job at covering it, to be honest. I was just always wearing long pants, long sleeves, like nobody knew. I was so embarrassed. Like, as an influencer, I guess, and someone who is meant to look good all the time, I was just like so ashamed, and I was like, what the fuck? So I pretty much hid it, and I did a pretty good job of it, I think. And I kid you not, over this year, I tried absolutely everything. And I just want to say, like, if you are going through this, or whether it's psoriasis or a different autoimmune condition, I know it's so hard to see the light at the end of the tunnel, because I've been there. Like, I know what it feels like. I went through a stage for months and months, like probably 6 months or so, where I was so depressed, and it was like I was living in a foreign body. I just hated my skin so much, and I was just like, why? Like, what's going on? And I didn't know what it was. No one could tell me what it was. And nothing, I thought I tried everything and nothing was working, and I was so depressed. I would cry myself to sleep every night. Like, I literally had suicidal thoughts because my skin was bothering me that much. And it wasn't even just the look of it. It was also the feel. Like, I was itchy, I was scratching, I felt sick all the time. It obviously played a big role in my mental health. So I was so anxious all the time about it, and just depressed and sad, and just like nothing was right. I just want to say, I know exactly how you feel if you are going through this and you are going through the worst of it. I feel you, and I just want to say, like, I'm sending you like hugs, and I'm sending you so much love, and I'm here to share with you what I have done to heal my skin. And quick disclaimer, I'm not a doctor, right? And that's probably why I've been able to heal myself, because I'm not a doctor. Because, I mean, I don't mean to hate, but no doctor was able to help me or tell me, like, the fucking dermatologist couldn't even tell me what it was. Like, I had to go to lengths to be able to actually be diagnosed and be like, yep, okay, this is what you have. Like, it took almost a year to get diagnosed. And I saw a lot of people, and I tried all sorts of different things, and I'm so fucking proud of my body and where it is. Like, today, I'm wearing shorts. Like, look at this. I'm wearing shorts. Look at my legs right now. My legs used to be covered, absolutely covered in spots. I bet you're all just like, okay, just get into it. What did you do? So, as I said before, I'm no doctor. I'm not saying do this and it's going to clear psoriasis or it's going to make you better. See, the problem that I have found with going to dermatologists and going to doctors and all this kind of thing is they like to diagnose you. So when I finally got a diagnosis from my dermatologist, she then tells me pretty much, oh, there's nothing you can do, like, you're just gonna have to put up with it. It's like a non-treatable condition. She goes, sometimes it'll go away, sometimes it won't, but here's some steroid cream, like, here's a prescription. And every time I go back for a like checkup, she just gives me more prescriptions, and that's just more money in the pockets of the pharmaceutical industry, right? And they're all just quick fixes. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I did try the steroid creams because I had like a foamy one. It got to a point where I just was like, I have no, like, I don't know. I wanted to try heal it naturally, but it just got to the point where it was so bad. And I remember it was coming into summer and I was like, what do I have to lose? I'm gonna try it. And admittedly, the steroid cream did work for a little bit. And then, yeah, I mean, it works like the first couple of times, but the psoriasis comes back. And that's why they just keep giving it to you, because it's just more money for them and you're never gonna get rid of it. You're just gonna have to keep applying the cream for the rest of your life. But I've heard from a lot of people that the creams stop working because your skin ends up just getting immune to it. Plus, what you don't understand is what's in the creams is actually going inside you and creating more toxins. And what's important to remember is psoriasis is not a skin problem, it is an internal problem, right? So you can't treat psoriasis as a skin issue because it's not. It's an autoimmune disease. An autoimmune disease is where your immune system is confused, it's gone crazy, and it starts attacking healthy cells. So you have, like, there's so many different autoimmune type conditions. You've got like Hashimoto's, where your immune system starts attacking your thyroid, for example, and psoriasis is where your skin starts attacking your skin cells. And what it actually does is, the reason why you've got like these flaky bits is because it's turning over way too fast, because your skin is like, it's like confusing your skin, thinking that, you know how our skin like renews itself and the cells turn over? So that's what it's doing, but it's just doing it way too fast and your skin just can't keep up. So it's just like going nuts. So that's the first and most important thing to remember, is treat it as an internal issue, not as a skin issue, because that's what it is. It's an internal issue, not a skin issue. I have heard from a lot of people saying that it's a gut issue, and it is, like, a part of it is, but there is a lot more to it than just the gut. So basically, my skin healing journey started like this. So the very first step that I took was obviously a few dietary changes. So I have always been off dairy. Dairy is a huge inflammatory for the skin. I've always been off it, but not strictly off it. So here and there I would have like cheese on a pizza and stuff like that, because I am intolerant, but I can handle a bit of cheese and stuff like that. So the first thing that I did was I completely cut out dairy, and then I cut out gluten as well, because gluten and dairy are both huge inflammatories. Not only that, but the way that your body has to break them down and stuff, it's a lot of work. And I'm not even going to go into that too much, but those are the two things that are so important to cut out, and that's what I did. So I cut those out, and then I started intermittent fasting. So if you're not familiar with intermittent fasting, it's basically fasting for a period and eating within a certain period. So I was doing fasting for 16 hours and eating for 8. I've actually spoken about this in my weight loss video because I actually lost a significant amount of weight and it was amazing. But what that actually does is it allows your body to repair itself, because when you are eating, your body is focusing on breaking down food and it's not actually focusing on healing what's inside. So intermittent fasting helped me a lot. So that is the first things that I did. I then basically just dove into the deep end and started a water fast. So I just, went cold turkey and was like, okay, I need to reset my body. I need to reset my immune system, and the best way to do that is to fast. So I did a 5-day water fast. So there are many benefits to doing a water fast. Research them yourself if you want to, or if you have any questions about it, leave them down below and I'll do my best to answer them. I'm not going to go into it because that's like a whole thing on its own. And I actually wish that I documented this fast because it was one of the most challenging things I've ever done in my entire life, but I'm so proud of myself for doing it. Like, it was insane. And the reason why this was so important is because not only it completely reset my immune system and my body and the way my body was functioning, but it also gave me a really good starting point for the process of elimination with food, because food plays a huge factor in this. And I know a lot of people just say, you know, cut out gluten, cut out dairy. It's a lot more complex than that, and everyone is different. And by doing this water fast, do it for at least 3 days. I would highly recommend to do it for at least 3 days and then start this process of elimination with your food. So while I was doing this water fast, actually, I was doing a round of colonics. So if you have never heard of colonic hydrotherapy before, it's pretty much a cleanse of your colon. So pretty much what it is, it's like an internal bath. You like sit on this machine, you put a hose up your bum and it flushes out your colon and everything like that. So I did that while I did my water fast, and then I continued to do it after that. And that was amazing. Like, that fast and the colonic hydrotherapy was honestly like the best way I could have started my whole healing journey. And the reason being is because I just needed to start fresh, you know what I mean? Like, I just need to get rid of all the shit and just really start fresh and know my body, if that makes sense. Because after my little fast and after all these colonics and stuff, I then started introducing foods here and there, and then I really noticed what my body wants and what it doesn't want. For example, after my fast, I made some baked veggies, and I was eating like sweet potato and pumpkin and stuff, which is fine. Oh, and then I put a bit of seasoning on them, and then I started scratching, and I was like, oh no, like my body's rejecting the vegetables. But then I found out it was actually the seasoning, it was the paprika. And then down the track, I noticed, because I started introducing foods here and there, I noticed nightshades. My body doesn't agree with nightshades. So tomatoes, eggplant, capsicums, things like that. So I steer clear of them. Obviously gluten, still steer clear of. Dairy, still steer clear of. Then another huge one that I discovered was sugar. So all refined sugar. If I touch sugar now, like, my body will instantly tell me, and that is the best thing, because I have literally reset my body and programmed it in a way where it tells me exactly what's flaring it up and what's not. So I've completely cut out refined sugar. As sweeteners now, I just use things like honey, maple syrup, like monk fruit sweetener, stevia, things like that, and just have no cane sugar or refined sugar. And that's actually a good thing for me anyway, because like sugar's bad for you and it's a huge inflammatory, and if you have any type of like inflammatory problem, you want to be steering clear of sugar. Another thing that flares me up is alcohol. It's just such a big stress on your body. So I used to drink all the time. I used to be like a real party animal, and you know, I used to like go out like most weekends and drink. I'd sometimes drink like during the week and stuff like that, and I've basically completely cut it out. And I don't like deprive myself or not have a life. I will only drink if there's like a big occasion, I'll drink. If I'm going to like a wedding or a festival or a party or something, I'll drink. But I won't just be like, oh yeah, I'll have a glass of wine with dinner, or I'll have a cocktail here and there. Like, it's just not, there's no point, because what it does to my body is just like not worth it. So, and I'm quite happy with that. And with this like COVID lockdown and stuff, it's actually been really easy, because like I haven't been going anywhere, so it's been amazing for my skin. What else have I cut out? Another thing that I've had to cut out, peanuts, peanut butter. This is something that I've discovered recently, and after doing a lot of research on it, peanuts are highly toxic and highly inflammatory. So if you have any sort of skin problem, steer clear from peanuts and see how you go. And trust me when I say this, I've tried all of the diets. I've tried like doing mainly carnivore, I've done plant-based, I've done keto, I've done paleo, I've done all of that. A lot of people ask me like, how did the plant-based diet go? Did it make your skin any better? Because I was doing plant-based for a few months. Honestly, I didn't see much notice in my skin as such. Plant-based wasn't for me personally though, and I really noticed that in my energy levels and just the way I was feeling. It just, I don't know, it didn't mesh well with me that well. And then I actually noticed though, after coming off my plant-based diet, my body done like eggs. The best diet that has personally worked for me is the paleo diet. I'm not gonna say I'm strictly paleo though, because here and there my body can tolerate some grains. And if you don't know what paleo diet is, it's basically the caveman diet. It's no grains and no like processed foods. So basically like fresh, whole foods, your fruits, your veggies, your meat, and that kind of thing. So I do mainly eat no grains. Most of my meals are basically like meat and veg type situation, but occasionally I will have rice or I will have oats, like very occasionally. If I feel like it, I just listen to my body, and my body seems to tolerate it fine. But yeah, in terms of like other grains and like especially corn, body hates corn, and it sucks because I love Mexican food, but corn's a no-go. And yeah, all your other grains I steer clear of. Oh, there's just like so much information. Okay, so I feel like diet is something that is super different for everybody, because some people say they thrive off eating like just meat, some people thrive off eating plant-based, some people say avoid red meat. I personally don't eat a lot of red meat. I feel like my body thrives off like fish, like I love salmon, I love turkey, minced chicken, that kind of thing, bit of bacon. That's my jam. Like I feel like my body, yeah, really thrives off that. But yeah, some people, like everyone's different. You just need to test it out on yourself and really just listen to your body, because yeah, your body will tell you exactly what. And I know this is gonna sound so crazy, but my mum, who's actually a nutritionist, she's actually like a practitioner. She has her own clinic, and she taught me this thing, and holy shit, it actually works. So pretty much if you're unsure with something, whether or not you should eat it, there's this little trick that you can do, and you can hold it. So say I've got like an egg, I'll hold the egg and I'll close my eyes, and like everything around us is energy. And I think that's why this works, because everything is energy. Like we are made up of energy, this camera is made up of energy, Teddy's made up of energy, that plant isn't, like everything's energy. And so if you hold this certain thing and you close your eyes and just think about it, you will move in a certain direction. You'll move backwards or you'll move forwards. And pretty much the thing behind this is, I know this is going to sound so dumb, and if you think it sounds really dumb, then just ignore it, whatever. But try it. Like, you would be so surprised. If you fall backwards, it's a no. It's your body saying no. If you go forwards, it's your body saying yes. And no joke, I have tried this so many times. Sometimes I'll be in the supermarket and I'll be like, okay, is there anyone here? And I'll do it. And it always works. It always works. Like, sometimes I'll like move back and it'll be a no, and I'll be like, oh fuck, I shouldn't eat this. But I'm just gonna eat it anyway because it's probably wrong. And what do you know? I'll start itching, or I'll feel sick, I'll feel bloated, that kind of thing. So yeah, try it. Trust me, try it. Okay, I'm gonna move on from food. I can talk about this more in detail like another time, but I wanna move on now to a really big one, and that is your lifestyle. So stress is a massive, massive trigger, and I feel like that's when most people like first get psoriasis or other autoimmune conditions, where your body gets so stressed out and your immune system just gets so compromised and so stressed that it starts going nuts and it starts attacking healthy parts of your body. Totally makes sense, right? So I find in times where I am really stressed, I will get a flare up. I've been a little bit stressed lately, and my arms, they are actually like, they look really good still, but I do have a few little spots here and there. And my arms are always the first ones to show. So easing your stress in however way you can is really, really helpful, and it's been so helpful for me. One of the main things for me has been a job change. So I used to be a like full-time influencer, and that honestly just was not fulfilling me at all, and it was just stressful and I hated it, and I was putting way too much pressure on myself, especially with having a skin problem and then having to take photos of myself all the time. Like, it just was not working. It was causing so much stress, and also going to events all the time and like having to, you know, show up and look good and drink and eat things that you're given and stuff like that. It was just, yeah, it was shit. So then what I actually did was I switched over and started doing my business full time. That was just a side hustle, and then I switched over to it doing it full time, and that has helped my stress levels so much. It's like I'm a different kind of stress now, but it's like a good stress that keeps me going. You know what I mean? It's not like a stress that tears me down. Another thing that really helped me was moving. So I moved out of a big city and a small apartment that I hated. I moved back home where I'm surrounded by nature and I'm with my family, and I live a much more relaxed, chilled out lifestyle, and that's helped me a lot. I know obviously not everyone can do these kind of things, but just find the things that are really stressing you out and really triggering you and try to change them up a little bit. Another thing that I've implemented is meditation and journaling. This has honestly helped me so much in just letting out what's going on in here, because what's going on in here is going to show up on here, you know what I mean? So what's going on in your head is always going to come out on your skin, so you need to let it out in a different way. So I let it out in a journal that no one ever gets to see, because it's just me and my thoughts. Talk to someone. If you have someone to talk to, just like letting it out so that it doesn't show up on your skin is so important. And meditating to make sure that you are in a good headspace. Practice gratitude. I posted a video a few months ago on anxiety. I highly recommend checking that out, because there's a lot of really good mental health and mindfulness tips that really, really helped me. Another one is walking. So walking and going outside every day has improved my mental health so much that it has made the biggest difference on my physical health. Not only has it improved my skin, but it's improved my overall body and just my mind and my mood, and just being outside like in the nature. It's one of the most simplest things that works so well. So I highly, highly recommend giving yourself a challenge. Do the 10,000 step challenge. I'm doing it at the moment. I've got so many girls on board, and it's so good because we're all keeping each other accountable. But something as simple as that, you wouldn't even think, but it makes the biggest difference. Another thing is the sun. The sun is what really cleared my skin in the first place. I remember in November when it started coming into summer, and I had my first good beach day, my good tan sesh. I was like, all right, sun, what can you do for me? Let's just see, we've got nothing to lose. And it honestly worked wonders. I then kind of got like another bit of a, what would you call it? Just like another flare up in the middle of January, and like a fair few of my spots came back, and that was due to like lifestyle stresses and also dietary things and drinking and that kind of thing. So I did get another flare up, but then I did sort of ease that again. But the sunlight, get out in the sun as much as you can, because it is super beneficial. If you can get in and get like the UV light treatments and stuff done, get them, because they are awesome. But the sun, it's free, it's out there, don't be afraid of it, because it's amazing. It'll do wonders for your skin. In terms of skincare and what I've been doing externally, there's been a lot. As you guys know, I own a skincare brand, and for this whole time that I've had these skin issues, I have been testing all sorts of different things on myself. And I do currently have three things that I found super helpful. One of them being a bath soak that I make for myself. I have bath soaks for sale, but the one that I use personally, let me know if you guys want me to come out with it, because it has worked wonders. It's got dead sea salt in it. You've probably heard of people talking about how great the dead sea salt is for psoriasis and eczema and that kind of thing. So I have been bathing. I take like multiple baths a week, and it's honestly amazing, because salt is so good for your skin. It's got like the dead sea salt, the borax, the Epsom salts, all that kind of stuff. And then I've got lots of amazing other herbs in it, and just a few essential oils to really help with the skin. That's been super helpful. Another thing, I've made like my own little lotion. It's like a real lightweight, spreadable, kind of like almost like a lightweight gel consistency. I don't know, but I find moisturizing every morning and night has been super helpful to stop my skin from being dry and itchy. But obviously when you do need to do that every morning and night, you want something lightweight that just smooths over super easily and super quickly. And it's also got those healing ingredients in it, and it's obviously got no steroids and cortisol and whatever in it. So that's been really great. And another thing I have found, because I've sort of had like little random patches of scalp psoriasis as well. So my pomegranate pie scrub, which has actually got the dead sea salt and stuff in it as well, and it is a salt scrub, so I have been loving that. I'll use that before I wash my hair, and I'll just scoop it up and massage it, because I sort of would get it around here. So I'll massage that through and then wash my hair, and it's been amazing. I've been able to use it on my skin as well if I've got any just random dry bits that I need to buffer off. That's been incredible. So that's sort of all I've been doing like externally. As I said, it is an internal problem, so you can't rely on creams and stuff to heal it, but they certainly can help. So these are the things that I've been using to help with everything else. And there was one more thing that I wanted to touch on. I feel like I'm going to forget something, but as I said, I can talk about it another day. The other thing I wanted to talk about is, I've only been doing this recently, and I've found it super helpful, and so I need to talk about it. I heard from someone that I think it was my mum actually, she told me that you should wait around 5 hours between each meal, because your body goes through some sort of cleaning process. And she's like, you know, people with all these autoimmune conditions, it's super important to wait those 5 hours between meals. And I was like, oh, okay. So I did a lot of research into it, and then I've been trialing it myself. Now, from the research that I've done, sorry, I've got some notes here, so I'm gonna talk about it like just super briefly. But what it is there is a stimulation of your MMC pathway that gets triggered 2 to 3 hours after you finish eating. So you finish eating, say you finish eating your lunch at 12 o'clock, around 2 to 3 o'clock is when your MMC pathway is triggered. So pretty much what it does is, when the MMC pathway is triggered, it starts sweeping out all of the bacteria and all the leftover food and that sort of stuff out of your stomach and your small intestine. So why that is super important is because for those, I usually wait like at least 3 hours. I wait the 5 hours between the meals if I can. So I tend to just eat 2 meals a day, which works really well for me. And that's when you can feel like that stomach rumbling thing, and that means that your MMC pathway is like pushing out all that bad stuff and doing like a really good internal clean. So yeah, people that have like conditions like SIBO and that kind of thing find that really, really useful. So that's also something to try. As I said, I've been doing that for the last few weeks and I have found it very, very beneficial, and I've had 0 flare-ups, and I've also haven't been bloated. I have been feeling really, really amazing. So I mean, that is me for today. I know I've been talking for so long, so I'm going to wrap this up. As I said, again, there is no one size fits all. There's no one cure for everyone. It is honestly a holistic lifestyle change. Everyone's like diet is going to be different, but these are the things that have worked for me. So please, if you do take at least one thing from this today, it is just try what you can and listen to your body, and just know that just one thing is not going to work. It needs to be all of these things put together to really make a difference. So yeah, that is all from me. Thank you so much for watching, and if you're still here listening, thank you so much. I appreciate it more than you know. If you have any comments, post them down below. Head over to my Instagram pages. I've got my main page and my Raw by Nelly page, where I post all things like food related, all of my meals, skin updates, that kind of thing. So yeah, follow both of those pages if you want to like keep up with sort of what I'm doing, and if you have any questions or anything, my DMs are always open. We are all in this together, and I promise you there is light at the end of the tunnel. So hang in there. This is just all part of this journey, and trust me, you'll come out of this stronger than ever. So thank you for watching. You can do this. Don't forget that. You can do this. I love you, and I'll see you all in my next video. Bye.